SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Engineering, Medical and Health Sciences, Management, Dental, Science and Humanities, Law, Agriculture Sciences, Hotel Management. Admissions open.
Good morning all. Welcome to this webinar. This is about how good can you make your dental program go well? Whether you can really choose dentistry, would it help you as a career? And we have with us three panelists who have very rich experience among them. Each of them has put in at least 20 years of experience as a teacher. We have with us Dr. Vivek N. He's a consulting maxillofacial surgeon. He has done his BDS from Annamalai University and also MDS in oral and maxillofacial surgery from Annamalai University. He's currently Dean at SRM Kattankalattur in the Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. We have Dr. S. Senthil Kumar, an endodontist based in Coimbatore. He completed his BDS and MDS from Savita Dental College, Chennai. He is currently a professor at JKK Nataraja Dental College, Kumarapalayam, and has been teaching undergraduate and postgraduate students for the past 16 years. He has also been the guide for several research scholars and has articles published in national and international journals to his credit. Dr. D. Arunachalam, he completed his BDS from the Madras Dental College and his MDS also from Madras Dental College. He is a member of the international team for implantology. I welcome all three of you panelists. We are having this webinar at a time when the counseling is going on, and we see that most people would prefer MBBS to BDS. So this webinar will focus on what are the chances that a student has when if he takes instead of MBBS, if he takes BDS, can he do well? What is his career path, and how does it progress? Whether it is even a feasible profession if he becomes a dentist. I request Dr. Arunachalam to please start the proceedings.
Hello, thank you, madam, for this wonderful invitation. It's always a pleasure to be communicating with young people. And I think this is a special opportunity because I think some parents are also there and there are a lot of people who are looking forward to starting their careers. So it's a great opportunity to speak to each one of you. Welcome to this world of dentistry. And that's what I would like to start this program with. I have a very quick presentation which I'll share with you about what dentistry is and what is the future that you can expect. So let me quickly go ahead and do that. Dentistry is both an art and a science, and I think that is something that all of you must understand. Not only are you looking to have very good mental skills in terms of your studies and education and knowledge and breadth of understanding, but you also need to have good hand skills. And both of these are something that everybody can develop. So it's a question of you investing your time and energy in developing your hand skills as well as your breadth of knowledge. And if you do, then you can be a very successful dental professional. And let me give you a brief on what dentistry essentially is. Dentistry is an art and a science. It is an art and a science of preventing disease. It's an art and a science of diagnosing disease and treating conditions and diseases, especially of the oral cavity. and the maxillofacial region, which essentially means you're dealing with most of the area, head and neck area, not the brain, but head and neck area. And you'll be looking at most of the problems associated in these regions. And it's all their associated structures. And so you will be collaborating a lot with general physicians, with ENT surgeons, with other specialists within dentistry itself. Basically, dentistry started out and right from the time of Hippocrates. I'm sure you must be aware of this father figure of modern medicine. And he, in his corpus, it's called the Hippocrates corpus, actually mentions tooth decay. He mentions gum disease, and he says that it's as important to deal with it as it is to deal with lung diseases or fractures or wounds. So we're talking about a time close to 500 BC when it was recorded, and all of these dental conditions were actually recorded. More recently, these are some of the earlier very famous physicians and surgeons: John Hunter, Pierre Fauchard, and Francis Imlach. All of these people contributed a significant component to the way in which we practice dentistry today. The key thing is all of them started as medical practitioners, either surgeons or as physicians, and dentistry was a fundamental element of all of these. And they approached this entire dentistry with an understanding of biology, with an understanding of the human body physiology, and of course, medicine. And they branched out and specialized and concentrated a great deal in dentistry today. Was as well as other allied professionals like dental hygienists, dental mechanics, and such. And the Dental Council of India also guarantees that the standards of examination across universities that is maintained, and it's over dental institutions. Most of the MBBS students, but you will be restricting yourself to the head and neck region. And largely this is because you will be more specialist. Ophthalmologist has to the eye. So you are essentially a super specialist at the undergraduate level. And of course, dentistry has gone so much that there is a great amount of developments infused with so much focus on dental anatomy of the head and neck region, embryology in the head and neck region. Then you study a little bit about general pathology or diseases that affect the entire human body, and microbiology, almost all the pharmacology, which is medication, to treat disorders, how do they work, how are they biotransformed, how are they metabolized, how are they excreted, what is the mechanism of action of all of these. And also there will be a significant component on dental materials. Now, material subject materials and technology that goes into dentistry. So your knowledge of physics and chemistry will play a very, very important role here. There'll be and you will have a variety of tools. Specific oral pathology and oral microbiology. There'll be general medicine and general surgery, just like MBBS. So you will have an exposure to general medicine, you will have an exposure to general surgery, how surgeons, what are the various conditions that surgeons generally operate, so on and so forth. And of course, you will have all the specialty dental subject, conservative dentistry, oral and maxillofacial surgery, oral and maxillofacial surgery, oral medicine and radiology related to the head and neck, orthodontics, pediatric and preventive dentistry, public health, gum surgery, periodontology, prosthodontics, replacement of teeth, crown bridge, aesthetic dentistry, and cosmetic dental work, forensic sciences. Understand that it's going to be expansive in its approach. Of course, there are a large number of emerging dental specialties today. You have specialties in orofacial pain, dental anesthesiology, dental sleep medicine, of lasers, cosmetic surgery, adult seniors care dentistry, geriatric dentistry, implants, emergency dental care, and hospital dental work. What are the opportunities for dentists? Of course, everybody can start a proprietary private practice. Like I'm in private practice, you can have a private practice, you can have a specialist partnership practice with others dental specialists. Today, dentists and oral surgeons, specialist dentists practice together with skin doctors, with ophthalmologists, with to work in their corporate chains. The academic dentistry, working in colleges, teaching, continuing education, another form of teaching for other professionals, digital dental services, research, drug trials, international health care. Of course, in so many ways, there are people who even consult internationally today with many artificial teeth and other components are concerned. Specialty practice, hospital management, technology, army, state government, central government, so many wide range of options that are available. So as a dentist, what are the
Doctor, sorry to interrupt. Your voice is cracking a lot. If you could just check your audio.
Yeah. Now is it okay?
Now it's fine, doctor.
Okay. So as a dentist, what are all the things you'll be able to do? First of all, you of course you will transform and restore the life of your patients. In the sense, I have had
Doctor, sorry to interrupt again. I think it has something to do with your audio jack. Can you, if you could just unplug it and replug it, and be great, sir.
Okay. Is that okay? I got it.
And now it's fine, doctor.
Now it's fine.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So the second thing is that you can be pretty independent in your career. You know, you have independence in your career. You can do the kind of work that you want to do. you'll be woken up at all times. But here you can maintain a relatively flexible lifestyle. You will shape the future of oral care as it is with so much technology and other things. Your every dentist, wakes up in the morning and goes to work mainly because it's an extremely creative field. You will work as a part of a team, and of course, with your success, you will also support the community through your own charitable and other. What that you need now, what to do before get to understand the feel of a dental college. Second, also remember that dental college can study could be expensive because a lot of materials, a lot of things that you need, be mindful the way that's part of the challenge meant to have that's really useful for very because it is complicated to be you want to build good by very of course maintain which have your so that you understand that in the first time building the physical result you need to these are some of the things that look forward to.
Thank you, Dr. Arunachalam, but unfortunately the voice was cracking quite a lot. The presentation was great, but we couldn't hear you many of the times. But I'm sure there are lots of people who have questions. There are also already a few questions, but we'll wait until the presentations are over before we take up the questions.
Sure.
Right. So may I ask Dr. Senthil Kumar to please...
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sujata ma'am and team. Thank you, Arunachalam sir, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you. Some of my points we have also covered, made my work easy. So here I'll put some of my views regarding this scope of dentistry as a clinical practice. To be precise, it is a very delicate and intimate job. We do the most important part of the body that is connected to the head and the neck, as Arunachalam sir said. And teeth gives you more of self-confidence and it improves your overall health and also how people see you. The teeth are noticed first. Arvind, next. So the main topic of tell me why you should choose dentistry over medicine or any other field. Dentistry, yes, it is really a prestigious profession. It has become so. We have not been very inferior to medicine. We have now been equal to medicine. We restore the overall health of the patient. In practice, we see happy patients who have difficulty in eating, swallowing. They come up. They're happy to see that. And financial independence, as Arunachalam has said, you do gain financial independence easily. It is feasible in dentistry. But also, when it comes to medicine or dentistry, service first and money next. And also, money is also important, but you do get financial independence very easily. Next slide. It is a competitive career, as it is also a stable career. You have to upgrade learn throughout your life. That is all in everybody, every career. I think you have to keep learning through the ages. Next slide, please. Important thing, you get self-employed, you get a lot of freedom where you work, how much you want to work, give appointments, you want afternoon breaks, or work continuously from 9 to 4 or between 11 to 6. There are a lot of opportunities, and also there are career breaks. Some people after doing BDS also have moved to income tax, IRS departments and academics. You have that option. You do medicine, you do cardiology, and then you can think of all those things. Such opportunities is also there, but dentistry is always good. You have a lot of control of your choice of equipment, material. You want to run a simple practice, a corporate setup, multiple clinics. Yes, you have a lot of choice on what equipment you select, what material you use. Unlike you have to medicine, you need a CT, a PET scan. In dentistry, you can limit your choice of equipment or specialize your practice. There are a lot of opportunities. Okay, you can customize it according to you. Next slide, Arvind. A career that provides a balanced lifestyle, work-life balance. You can always get a work-life balance with this. You don't have many emergencies where you have to run. You do have to a certain extent, but not like medicine. You will not be around 24 hours, 365 days. It's not like that. You will have a balanced lifestyle. You can plan your work actually. You can plan your work. Next, please. And there's a lot of options for general dentists. There are specializations like other fields like cardiology or gastro or neuro. It's not like we have an overlapping specializations. A general dentist can perform nearly 80% of all the procedures, and only 20% he has to look around for specialists to help. But we have all specialties now too. Next slide. Yeah, and nowadays it has become a interesting career for women. So it is not physically very taxing. The time limit is customized. You have time for the family. You can practice in the mornings, take off in the evenings, or vice versa. And it is not a very physically taxing and tired work. So being in teaching for past 16 years, I feel the last 6 or 8 years maybe, there are a lot of women choosing this career. That's good. Actually, they surpass men. The ratio surpasses the number of men who are selecting dentistry. Yes, it's more apt for women too. Next slide, Arvind. You get a status and a professional recognition. Next. So you put up your own practice right after your dental school. So once you finish medicine, you specialize. Even if you super specialize, you have to get attached to a corporate hospital where all the facilities are available. When it comes to dentistry, whether it is you finish your Bds, you finish your Mds, you can have your own clinic. It's all your choice. The time, the area of practice, the specialization, 2 chairs, 3 chairs. All is in. As soon as you finish your BDs, you can start with doing your own practice. You can have your own practice. Yeah. Next. So maintain a flexible lifestyle. Yeah. Family life balance. Be your own boss. You have your own clinic. You don't be dependent on a corporate. All this were covered by Arunachalams are also. Thank you. Next slide. So recently, Dr. Mazumdar, our Dental Council President, has also stressed that there is a lot of scope and lucrative dental practice in small towns. When the ratio of population dentist ratio is concerned, there is more concentrated dentists in the city. Actually, the rural side has a good opportunity, at least for the next 20-25 years. Yes, the can move down to small towns and rural areas where you will be respected much, you will be known very well, very soon. So this is what our DCA president has also stressed. Next slide. So this is the ratio actually. Now we have around 1.5 lakh individuals to one dentist in the rural regions, and the same comes down to 10,000 is to one in the urban areas. So there's a lot of opportunities waiting in the rural regions. You can carry out dental procedures anywhere. You just need the equipment and the room. That's it. So rural areas do open up big area of practice and lucrative option. Next slide. So the ratio of population is to dentists is varied, as I said. So career in the rural areas is more promising. It will be more service oriented. It gives you a lot of peace. Next slide, please. So this is another thing that is catching up. Medical tourism, and now it's dental tourism. Kerala was one of the states which showed us the way. We have a lot of Gulf people who are doing treatment here. And it's catching up all over India into all other states also. There is a very exponential growth in dental tourism on the western coast, especially people from Europe and Australia turn up in really large numbers when it comes to dental tourism in India. It is improving very fast. Next slide. That's it. This is about the scope of dentistry. There's lots to talk also, but regarding concern with the time, there is a lot of scope in future for dentistry. I would like to reiterate that again. Thank you, Sujata ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. This was quite an interesting.
Thanks.
It's quite interesting to listen to your presentation, sir. And we have a lot of questions again coming in. There are some people who are dentists, but they have questions. We'll finish with the presentation and then we will go to the questions.
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Vivek, may I ask you to please carry it forward?
Sure. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you, Sujata ma'am, for those kind words of introduction. And as practitioners, Dr. Arunachalam, and as academician and practitioner, Dr. Senthil Kumar, have already highlighted the scope of dentistry, what one could do by being a dental surgeon. Now, here I am as an academician and as an administrator. What challenges we face during the counseling process? And that's why the title of this webinar is Challenges of NEET Counseling. Everybody has been hearing this word NEET ever since last 5 years, National Eligibility and Entrance Test. Now, more or less, by now, everybody has got familiarized with this word NEET. This is conducted by the HRD Ministry, by the Government of India, by a body called NTA, as an independent, autonomous, and a self-sustained premier testing organization. In order to conduct efficient, transparent, and international standard tests, so making the whole process of admission transparent, that is the whole purpose of this NTA and the NEET coming into fore. Who are all the candidates when they take the NEET exam? What are they eligible to is what is highlighted here. Those who are aspiring for MBBS or those who are aspiring for dentistry. So in a nutshell, you get all these organizations, hospitals, or institutions covered with qualifying in the NEET examination. So you have right from AIMS, All India quotas, state government quotas, private management, including the deemed universities, all come under the same platform. How to get an admission into a BDS program? As you're all, most of us are aware, being an academician and an administrator, at least 30% of the people are probably, when they choose a career, 30% are the only population probably choose dentistry as their career. The rest 70% who fall into dentistry are those people who try to aspire to become an MBBS doctor, and then because they did not succeed by being an MBBS doctor, fall into the BDS category. What is the eligibility? It's already been said that minimum marks required, the age criteria, and as I've reiterated, that examination or admission is only through the NEET exam. The online counseling is done by the MCC, Medical Counseling Committee, and by the DGHS, that is the Directorate General of Health Services. And this is done by the Ministry of Health. And they allot the candidates, the participating candidates who enroll into this MCC website in order to allocate the institution of their choice. So here we have various rounds whereby, depending upon the rank one candidate has achieved in the NEET entrance examination, they get allotted into various institutions. The allotment is based on 15% of the All India quota. That's the first round which happens. 100% of the seats of any deemed universities and central universities are given to the ministry. There is no control for any of these universities in the admission. It is purely conducted in a transparent manner by the DGHS. 100% of the ESIC, AFMC, etc. are also done by them. 100% of AIMS, 100% of JIPMER. So precisely in a nutshell, the entire admission is controlled by this organization, that is by our ministry. For the information of all of you, that we have so many MBBS seats in the country under government, and this is under private and totally amounting to this. This being a dentistry webinar, I will focus to dentistry. We have 50 government colleges in the country, amounting to about 3,513 seats. And we have 263 private colleges, which include the self-financing, which are affiliated to government universities, plus the deemed universities, which amounts to 23,260. Overall, we have a grand total of 26,773 dental seats in this country, distributed over 313 dental colleges. When we say deemed university counseling, we mean that entire 100% is given to the MCC and they allocate. NRI, that is the non-resident Indian, who is also eligible to participate, provided they fulfill certain criteria, and those criteria are stipulated in the MCC website very clearly. It is optional for any institution to opt for the NRI candidates, or they could take all the 100 seats or 50 seats as applicable by the Dental Council of India. Today we have only 50 or 100. Some dental colleges have 50, some colleges have 100 seats. This is all by the Dental Council of India. So you could have 100% by Indian admissions, or you could allocate 15% to the NRI. I'm not going into the detail of NRI because I don't think we have too many non-resident Indians participating, but most of these data are available in the MCC website. Now, what's the process of counseling? What are the challenges we are facing? To be honest, as an administrator, I still have inquiries asking how to go about with the admission. Now, we are in the 5th year of NEET. Believe me, 2016 and 2017, we were also at a loss. We did not know much about how the process is going to be. But the process has undergone so much of transformation, so many changes, making it much more feasible for the parents as well as the students to access and choose the college of their choice. If you open up a website of MCC, this is what you see. The first thing you will see: PG Medical Counseling, UG Medical Counseling, Super Specialty Counseling. So as a BDS seeking aspirant, you will go into UG Medical Counseling, and then you will see what the next line is. So you will see a counseling schedule, a counseling scheme. You will see which are the colleges which are participating. You will have the entire picture in your screen. Then you go in for the registration option. Once you register, based on your NEET, automatically it will pick up and automatically it will tell you if you are eligible or not. Although there are some conditions to make your registration, you have a nominal fee which you have to deposit, which is an online transaction. If it is a government body, you have to X money to be deposited. If it's a deemed university, you have X money to be deposited, and that is only a security deposit. Please understand, students and parents, that this security deposit is going to be refunded to you at the end of your admission process. That's not part of the tuition fee. This is the biggest confusion prevailing in the admissions the last 5 years. Initially, 1 or 2 years, it was being transferred to the institution, but then the DGHS took a decision that it is only going to be a security deposit. Once the student secures admission in a particular institution, they pay up the fee in that particular institution. Once the entire counseling process is completed, the amount will be refunded to the student as is wherein from whichever account they transferred the money to the DGHS. All these things are very clear in the counseling scheme, and a lot of FAQs are already available, and these will actually give us more clarity in whatever is to be done for the parents. Once you have registered and when the results are getting out, then you see the results which come up, then you see what are the seats which are vacant, what are the final rounds, and how many seats are vacant. You get notifications on the website like this. So how does this work? I am not going into round 1. I am not going into round 2 because we have already completed this. Now what happens? We are in a phase of what's called the mop-up round. The mop-up round has opened on the 10th of December. As per the MCC website, it continues till 14th December. We have a recent Gazette notification from the Dental Council of India yesterday that there could be an extension in the mop-up up to 16th December. So this phase is completed. So I don't want to get into these details because round 1, round 2 is already over. Now what do you do in a mop-up? Imagine a situation where none of you have got admission anywhere. You need to seek admission. So where do we go? So you go into MCC website, seek for whichever university, and you first have to register. If you have already registered in round 1 and free exited, registered in round 2 and exited with forfeiture of fees, which means you got in round 1, you were eligible for free exit because you did not want to go to the institution you were allotted. If you got in round 2, you are bound by norms to join that institution. If you still did not join that institution, you will forfeit the deposit that you made to the government. But however, you are not prevented from registering again in the mop-up round. So you could do a fresh registration with payment, exercise your choices, and then you get your seats allocated, and then you report. So this process will be about 5 to 6 days, exercising choices more or less the same time, and then your seat, the processing will take 2 days, then you have a reporting time of about 7 to 10 days. The challenges that we faced this year was during our postgraduate admission. The postgraduate admission, we had it completely online because we were in the peak of the pandemic. But in the undergraduate counseling, the ministry is very clear that the students should report to the institution because travel has become a relatively much more easier than the postgraduate times. I'm not saying we are avoiding, we are in a situation where we are off COVID-19 or off the coronavirus, but yes, travel is become possible, restrictions have become less, so one could travel and people are traveling in order to seek the admission. So as of the MCC notification, this is the current notification. So 11th December to 14th December, you could do your mop-up registration. You could choose the institution that you would like to study, and then you will have to wait for the processing of allotment and your results will be out. There is a subtle variation from the Dental Council of India. However, it may be updated in a few days' time. So maybe, but as of now, remember, 14th December is your deadline to make your choices towards the mop-up round counseling. Once you are allotted, you go through a confirmation of the seat. We go through the verification. We see the provisional allotment order, submission of the original documents at the time when you come, and you do an online transfer or a demand draft to the respective institution. Most of the institutions have their rules, regulations, criteria, documents to be submitted, all displayed on their website. So if you go through a particular institution's website, you will have clarity on what documents to be brought, where is the amount to be deposited, which bank to be transferred, etc. So whenever you come for admission, standard operating protocols as directed by government. So you are pretty safe in traveling to any institute. You will have a thermal screening. You will have to wear your facial masks. You have to do your hand hygiene. So hand hygiene is extremely important. This is general information. So what does BDS do to you? Well, two of my earlier speakers have already highlighted this. It's a 5-year course, inclusive of a compulsory rotatory internship. And this 1-year internship is mandatory to complete your degree. You have basic subjects. Don't regret that you have not done MBBS. You go to the medical college for the first 3 years of your curriculum. You are in the medical college doing what your MBBS colleagues are doing. You are studying whatever they are studying. And you are doing dental subjects alongside the medical subjects that you learn. Okay, we will accept that we are not learning in depth, but we know the basic human body because the teeth form an integral part of the human body. After internship, your BDS degree is awarded. Why should you choose BDS? It's a professional course with no retirement. You are the boss, has already been highlighted. It's highly skill oriented. I'm not scaring you. It's a very demanding profession. I'm not saying it's a very easy profession. We need to be really committed. There's a lot of physical work involved. And the only thing that is important in BDS, and why BDS is given so much importance, is the only part in the human body with a direct bachelor's degree. A lot of scope for research and professional practice. What more you could do to the society? You could increase awareness. If I were not a dental surgeon, I wouldn't have known 50% of what I know today. Because I would have been just another public who would go to a dental surgeon only when there's a problem. But today, I'm in a situation where I'm able to educate. If the patient is not getting treated by me or not, I'm not concerned. I educate the patient and I make sure that teeth is very important. So teeth is a very integral part, and dentistry is a wonderful course, and the admission system has become so transparent. But there are ifs and buts in the whole process, that we have some difficulties in the counseling processes. There is still some more clarity or streamlining to be done. However, over the last 5 years, streamlining has been largely done, and today we are in a, but there is a lot of overlap in counseling, and because of this overlap, people are actually confused whether to choose MBBS or BDS, whether to go for some paramedical courses and things like that. So these are some things which the government should take forward, wherein we could actually streamline the whole system a little more so that we create less confusion amongst the public. With this last slide, I will probably end up. This is just for the statistics. This is the most current statistics that I'm talking about. We have, as I told you, around 26,000 seats in the country. Over the period of years, if you have seen, this is what we have been doing. And 2016, the vacant seats were about 7,700, 4,417, 18. This is because when the NEET came in, people were a little confused how to go about with the admission. Whereas in 18 and 19, things are getting better, but still, we still have so many vacant seats. The similar situation is arising with the postgraduates. It is diminishing, but it is still not empty, which means there are vacant seats in most dental colleges, and these things will get better clarity only if we do not have much of overlap And we have a one system entrance examination system, or when you say NEET as a qualifying exam, the NEET should hold good across the country. What happens is at times individual states have their own counseling, so there is a big overlap and students or parents are equally confused. I hope that I have clarified most of probably the queries that are there in your minds. You are free to probably visit the MCC website for more clarity. But from my end, this is all that I can say. Hopefully that you all think of choosing dentistry as your career. You still have time for it, and good luck. Stay safe. Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek. That was really interesting. I did not know there were so many vacancies in both BDS and MDS. We already have a question from one Dr. Bhagwan Das Rai, his principal and head of oral maxillofacial surgery. He has a question. He says he has 3 questions. Since the past 4 years, NEET has been introduced, BDS and MDS seats are vacant, which you already mentioned. This year, due to COVID and delay in counseling, the admissions are going to be a problem again. What are the measures the government should do in order to avoid counseling issues in NEET dental? The second question is the student loan interest is about 10%. And though the student need not pay the interest installments during the course, the interest is added when he starts returning the loan, and it is with compound interest. What is the panel opinion on this regarding student loan? And the third question is, I'll just go back to the third question. If you can finish answering these 2 questions, I'll come back to the third one.
Yeah, I can take the first question. That is what I highlighted precisely, that we have vacant seats. And the pandemic definitely is actually giving us a small setback. See, today we are halfway through the deemed university counseling or your regular NEET counseling. And from the figures that I know today, 50% of the seats are still vacant across the country. And now that we know that probably we are going to have an extension in the dental admission, the MBBS admission is going to close by December 31st. And probably there's going to be an extension for dentistry alone till January 15th. So there is some time probably that the students, but what has happened now, the engineering admissions are all over in September, October. Most of the students have started online classes in engineering. How many would come out of engineering and take up dentistry is a big question. We are in a very challenging situation. And this year particularly, we all know, we are all aware that we are in a very challenging situation regards to everything, starting with our own life. So admissions, yes, is going to be a challenge. We have to only wait and watch. But fortunately for us, the cases of, I'm talking from the disease point of view or the virus point of view, it is showing a downward trend, thankfully. So hopefully people will move out. People are moving out now as far as at least Chennai is concerned. I do not know much about the other states, but hopefully we do get in some more admissions and we have some more time. But the problem that we are facing is every state have their own individual counseling based on the NEET mark. So that delays the whole process of the central counseling. This is something which we have to take in serious vogue, wherein the central counseling and the state counseling should be together. Already a mark has been given. Again, you are giving another mark in the state. So this is delaying the proceedings. This is what I need to think I can answer for that.
Thank you, sir. So the third question was, what is the scope of dental practice in rural and urban, and rural distribution is wide. What has government done to help the rural population to avail of dental facilities?
Yes, ma'am. Regarding rural practice, particularly the state governments have taken lots of steps They have included dental clinics in all the PHCs almost. They are trying to cover up. First, there used to be only dentistry available in the headquarters hospitals, and nowadays they are spreading it to even all the rural PHCs. As I said during my presentation, setting up a simple dental practice in rural area is much easier. It's not complicated at all. And regarding the government procedure, yes, they are trying to put dental chairs in most of the small healthcare facilities in rural areas. Yes, they have covered almost 60% or so. Yes.
Okay, so I think this is probably an overlap, but anyway, I'll ask this question. Nowadays, there's a lot of saturation in dentistry, as there's a dentist in every nook and corner in each part of Chennai. So, do you think still dentistry, there is a vacuum for prospective students? I think it is for Dr. Arunachalam.
Okay. See, I have a firm belief that you can only saturate a market with averages, with average people. You can never saturate any market with exceptional people. Now, if you are a very diligent practitioner, and if you work hard, you are exceptionally, industrious, there is always a future in every single field. Of course, there is competition. You look at general medicine, you look at engineering, everywhere. You have so many people. There is competition right from the time of employment. You finish, and then many engineers generally change the core subject of their study. They have done mechanical engineering, but go and work in a software company. See, here you're talking about a profession which is growing. There are a lot of technological advances that are happening. There is scalability in terms of what you can do. And from that viewpoint, if you work hard and stand out, I'm sure you can have a successful practice. And but if you want to compare yourself as an average person, don't show a significant, it's not a guarantee that just because you finish, you will be successful. That's not going to happen. So you have to put your effort into it. But if you really work hard, you maintain standards, you follow ethical guidelines, I am sure you will be a successful person. Financial success, of course, is one thing. But apart from that, the way in which the community looks at you, the way in which you serve people, and I'm sure it's not something where, given the kind of input that you're doing, financially, it's a very rewarding profession. If you do the good things, if you do the right thing, it is definitely a rewarding profession. There's no dispute in that.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. So I think the next question is for Dr. Vivek. How can we apply for the deemed universities when we haven't done so in round 1 and round 2?
Yeah, I think I very clearly explained the process in my presentation. Those who have not registered in round 1 and round 2 are eligible to register in mop-up round up to the 14th of December. There is an option. Earlier it was not there, but from last year they have introduced that. So because people are in the hope of they will be getting a government seat, and the first 2 rounds are over by then in the deemed university also. But if they fail to get in the government, their mark may be very good, but they failed because of the competition. But they are eligible to register in the mop-up for the first time as well.
Okay, so there's another question, sir. I think they have this question about how can you call MBBS and BDS as equivalent degrees?
I think we should take inputs from everybody here. Arunachalam, sir.
Okay. It is not to say that it is an equivalent degree or not an degree. It is not equal. I mean, I'm not saying MBBS and BDS are equal. In many ways, BDS is far ahead. In many ways, MBBS are good. I mean, there is no distinction here. Let me give you the simple example. This morning, we had an anesthetist here in the practice, in this very same room, and we had a patient have procedures done under sedation. We have oral maxillofacial surgeons who treat cancer, who take grip grafts, who take iliac crystal grafts from the hip. You have orthodontists who manipulate growth of your jaws. I mean, there is so much scope and so much of medicine in this that you can't really compare. It is a specialty. So if you want to say that, are you able to go and prescribe something for malaria? Will you do it? Well, that was what physicians used to do before, till they eventually, some of them moved into dentistry, and dentistry became a specialty. I think the confusion comes here because as such, dentistry became a separate branch very, very early. It was not a part, though many physicians and surgeons started it, dentistry became a separate branch very early. Even until recently, we say early 1900s, internal medicine was not a specialty. There were only ENT and few other, the OG and few others were specialties. Today, you have so many different specialties. In fact, if you have an ophthalmologist, you have people who are good in retinal, people who are very good with cataracts. So it has become a super specialty, highly skilled labor force. So my point is, there's no comparing one or the other. You can't compare an apple and an orange, but you have your own field. You have your own set of challenges to meet. And I think if you view it from that point, of course, there is no comparison.
Exactly. I also second Arunachan sir's opinion. Mouth is the mirror to your whole body, actually. Okay, so all systemic problems in your body can reflect in your mouth. The question might not be inferior or superior, whether it's equal or not. An ophthalmologist is not inferior to a cardiologist. Okay, everything is located in our body only, and mouth is such an important structure, which is very, very important. And recently, we see a lot of referrals from cardiologists, orthopedicians, dermatologists, referring to the dental surgeon, telling eliminate dental infection, eliminate dental infection. Something is causing problem in the heart, something is causing some unknown itching. You please eliminate dental infection. It is gaining more popularity, yes. So it cannot be treated as inferior or superior. It is equally important to all other structures. Vivek, sir, your opinion.
I think you answered all. So we are not here to compare professions or anything. We just say dentistry is a good profession to be in, and you rightly put the window of the body, or we say the mirror of the human body. A lot of diseases are detected in the mouth first. In fact, I would just put a very simple thing. Any physician you go to, the first thing, once they talk to you, they ask you to open the mouth. A physician will use a torch to examine the mouth. That's the first thing that they do. Because there are a lot of indicators from the mouth. That's all.
Thank you all. So as per the government said, NEET would be written twice in a year by coming. What he means is NEET. There is a proposal in the government that NEET will be written twice a year. So suppose somebody scores high in the first attempt and low in the second attempt, and which score should they give? I think you would give the highest score.
No, I think I'll have to leave the question to the government, because I do not know when they're going to do two NEETs. Because I think the person who's asking is probably in the lines of JEE, because JEE happens twice a year. So they take the best of the two, best of the scores. They gave an opportunity in January and April to write JEE. Maybe that is the question. I really do not know when the two NEETs are going to happen.
So does dentistry give stable financial support?
That is also multifactorial, actually. The first, as Arunachan sir said, you need skill, you need to be dedicated, you need to put up yourself, you need to show them that you are really skilled. And then, yes, it will give you a good. We have been in practice for past 16 years. Yes, it is rewarding. It will give you enough, enough. That's fine. Limit yourself. As I said, like medicine and dentistry, service is also there. People who can pay, and the poor should not be neglected from treatment. That too should happen. You will have a good for sure.
I think the only message here is one has to be ethical. One has to be totally ethical in what they want to do to the patient. Slip into the shoe of the patient, which means if you were a patient, what would you have taken up if your dental surgeon told you? Simple. So your finances or the charges that you want to make, sky is the limit, but we need to be reasonable. I think that's the way we have to move forward. And of course, if you ask me the last 7 months how it has been, it's been extremely challenging for every professional in various professions. So it's been challenging for dentistry as well. It's not that it's been a rosy picture for dentistry.
Here's one person who has said, can we study MBBS after BDS?
No, they have
That's
scrapped that one. Yeah.
Yeah, they proposed it. It is, in fact, it was in the discussion for a very long time in the ministry. Dr. Sendel, have they scrapped it totally?
Yes, sir. As of now, as far as I know, it's been proposed, but it has been not taken up by the government.
But there is an option of doing BDS after MBBS, madam.
So
That is possible.
Okay. So here is one question I think that Dr. Vivek will be able to answer. Maybe it is not restricted to your college, but it's a general question, I'm hoping. We are supposed to pay the whole year fee, but colleges haven't started yet. So I have no idea.
Is this for the current admission or for the continuing students?
True.
Anyway, that debate, let's not get into it. Yeah, when we normally admit, we take the tuition fee. We ask for the first year tuition fee, madam. And colleges are like, we have already, for the information, if somebody is asking who's a fresher, for the information that most colleges have finished the final year exams, and we are already in the process of doing the examination for third year, second year, and first year. We are hoping to bring the first year new students in the month of February, that is the 1st of February. That's what the direction from the government is. February 1st is the start of the curriculum for MBBS and BDS.
I think we will wrap up here, sir. Do you want to give some special tips to students who are getting into dentistry? A lot of people want to just do MBBS and do BDS, or do BDS and then do MBBS.
In this note, I will just tell you something very positive happened 3 days back. I was in an institution as an examiner, not naming anything. I met a student who appeared for MDS in my specialty, maxillofacial surgery. This is just to say what commitment has to play in life. This particular student had done engineering, that is BE in biotechnology, completed a BE degree program of 4 years, and then did a BDS, and she pursued her MDS in maxillofacial surgery. So that's 12 years of study. So nothing is impossible in life. Absolutely. If you are focused, if you are committed to what you want to do, you have to stay focused and do it. And this girl really impressed me, because there are many people who do 1 year of BSc. I am one of them. They do 1 or 2 years of some course, then they drift to some other course. But here I saw a candidate who did engineering, who did bachelor's in dentistry, and then completed master's in dentistry.
So there's one question here. Is there any option for learning BDS with IISE? I think I don't understand this question. I don't know whether it is IISC or maybe they mean a different stream of study instead of state board and CBSE. It's not clear. Okay, criteria to select a dental college to study. Can you give any advice on that?
Arunachalam, sir. Say you're muted. Say you're muted.
I think this is a decision most of you would take in consultation with people at home. So how far you are, whether you want to be a hostelite, whether you want to be a day scholar. You'll also want to choose the institution depending upon what you have heard about its alumni. You might even want to go visit the place. So my suggestion is that, you look around, see where you want to go. Most of you must have already had some level of focus on where you want to join. So go and visit those institutions, speak to the students, speak to your alumni, ask your neighborhood dentist if you could, and discuss this with your parents. And I think it's a very composite decision. You see, most of the colleges are good. Have a look at the number of patient flow that's coming in. Have a look at the number of the kind of exposure that you will have to various faculty. I think this is on an individual basis. You'll have to weigh all of these things together. How far you want to be away from home, how and what is that kind of institution you want to go. You want to be within the city, you want to stay outside. All of these things matter. Also, what it's going to cost you in all of these terms. All of these things will have a decision. So each has their own individual decision, but give weightage to the things that you will value the most, and you will come up with a wonderful choice.
Thank you, Doctor. There's one question here. Does NAC grade play an important role in selecting a college?
NAC is it's a national body which does this accreditation process, and now it's compulsory for every dental college to go through this process. If a dental college is associated with a university, then it becomes as a university NAC accreditation. If a dental college is isolated and alone, they still have to go for a NAC accreditation. Today's NAC accreditation is a self-assessment. 70% is done online. It's only 30% of assessment which is done physically. Earlier, the NAC team used to be about 18-20 people. Today, the NAC team is only 4 to 6 people. So yes, NAC is a what do you say, a wholesome assessment of an institution. I think it has got a role to play. Otherwise, the organization or the system would not be existing. I think it's wonderful. It's one of those criteria which would probably make a difference, because they have a 7 criteria as the NAC assessment is concerned. They're all structured and streamlined so well by the national body, so that it gives good details and good, the infrastructural details, the faculty details, and all sorts of information. I think it is definitely one of the criteria. I wouldn't say the only criteria.
Thank you, Doctor. Is it good to study in a dental college attached to a medical college?
Senthil sir, you would like to take that?
Yes, sir. I don't think so, madam. I don't think so. And very rarely such situations exist. Only 1/10 or 1/20th of the colleges are attached to a medical college. In general, we are going to see only dental patients only, and mostly the other colleges are attached to the local government hospitals or the PHCs. So the general cases which we see only in the 3rd year, the general medicine and general surgery, we need to be dependent on a medical college. Otherwise, all other setup is available in the medical college. It is not compulsory for a college, dental college, to be attached to a medical college.
In this context, I'll just put a small note. See, there are institutions which are attached to the medical college in the same campus. But yes, I do agree with Dr. Senthil that it's not a compulsion, but today there is a compulsion in one of the specialties of dentistry. If the maxillofacial surgery, if you have to start a course in maxillofacial surgery, it is a compulsion that there should be a medical college attached to the dental college. So earlier days, a dental college could function with a 100-bedded hospital. But today, if you want a specialty in maxillofacial surgery, a medical college is a must within the campus. One small advantage with a medical college being there is that some referrals do increase in your dental college patients, because there are patients who go into the medical college also, where a dental OP is also available. In every medical college, a dental outpatient is available as well. So there is some amount of improvement in your patient inflow if probably a medical college is attached with it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, I think the question was, is it good? So it's obviously very good. If you are in association with the medical college, you get an exposure in the medical field. Medical fraternity comes to recognize you, because tomorrow they are the ones who are going to deal with you. I mean, you might take a patient and operate the patient in a hospital. You might have referrals coming in from various specialists. You will have to refer out various specialists. So if you have an exposure, if the question is it good to study in a dental college associated with, obviously it's good, because you get to see a wide variety of cases. You get to have the option of working together with medical doctors, which is a great option.
Should all dentists have to study MDS for future excellence?
Well, I'll give you a small gist. If you asked this question 20, 25 years ago, most of the practitioners today, leading practitioners, are not MDS practitioners. They only did BDS. But if you ask today, what is the scenario? Everybody wants to pursue an MDS. Okay, so you could be a great practitioner with a BDS. You need not be a great practitioner with MDS. Vice versa.
So this person has come back with an explanation for that IISE. It is the Institute of Industrial and System Engineer. So he wants to know, he wants to know whether he can do BDS after this. I think you already mentioned that there can be, somebody might have done engineering, but they want to do BDS. So
the criteria being is only a 12th mark. It's not your engineering mark that matters to enter in a BDS or a NEET. At the end of the day,
NEET now.
Yeah, now it's NEET. So at the end of the day, if his 12th standard had biology in it, so he did his biology, he could get into applying in the NEET and get it. That's all.
So is MDS only option for PG course? After doing BDS, I assume, yes. If you do BDS, then can you do only MDS, or do you have any other options?
There are a large number of options now. Now, there are a number of fellowship courses. There are a number of certificate courses. There are 2-year programs as well. See, the MDS is, if you want to have a teaching faculty position, then an MDS is definitely mandatory. But otherwise, there are so many other specialty certificate courses and fellowship courses which are very niche areas of activity, and you will be able to perform exceptionally well in a very small niche area of activity. You can come up, Vivek can also share his views.
Can I do BDS after finishing my bachelor's in economics, accounting, and finance, provided you have biology?
Yeah, no, I think I've thrown open a big this thing here right now. See, at the end of the day, anybody could do BDS provided they go through the NEET process. Simple.
And I think you can do NEET only if you have biology in class 12.
Yeah, PCB is very important.
Yes.
PCB is very important.
So NAC has to take a different form because staff are there to teach and treat a patient. Publication and research is not main agenda to get A grade in NAC. This needs to change in the formal. There needs to be a change in the format. What do you say, sir? This is Dr. Vidya. Sorry. This question is from Dr. Vidya.
Yeah.
And she says that NAC gives more importance to the presence of staff and teachers and how many patients you treat, whereas the importance is not given to publication and research to get an A grade, for a college to get an A grade.
I think we are slightly deviating from the whole process of the topic right now, ma'am, because we are talking about counseling and BDS admission. This is going intricacy of NAC. Let's not, I personally think this is not the forum to answer.
Yeah, agree with you. So is studying in, I think the language sentence formation is a little difficult here, but I think I get do you accept that a broad scope of a subject is it a good option to study, or do you narrow down your options? I think that's what the question
She means abroad, I think. Studying abroad.
Oh.
Out of the country.
Oh, okay. Right. So what do you suggest?
So you can answer, sir.
Yeah, studying abroad, again, I think needs an exit exam, right, sir? Vivek, sir, if I am right. I think Vivek.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, anywhere abroad is got examination enough. I think Arunachalam sir is a better person to answer this.
I mean, yeah, there are, see, if at an undergraduate level, it all depends on your where you want to practice. Now, if you want to study abroad and practice abroad, well, that is one option. Admissions are available in many countries, and that's one thing that you could look at. But if you want to practice in India, you must be a registered dentist with the Dental Council of India here, right? You must be a registered dentist. So for which there are some examinations that are held. So if you do clear those examinations, then you can, and you can look up at the Dental Council of India website, and there are a lot of options for it. In terms of post graduation, of course, there are a lot of opportunities for post graduation abroad. There are also opportunities for licensure exams abroad. So these are some of the things that you might want to look at once you graduate. In fact, we also had one another question as to whether, MDS is the only option if somebody wants to do oral maxillofacial surgery. Actually, now the All India Institute, I think in Rishikesh or somewhere, has started MCH in oral surgery. So you have MCH programs in oral maxillofacial surgery as well.
Yes,
You
Rishikesh.
have other fellowship courses. In Rishikesh, they have started. So lots of other options that you can choose. Right after BDS, you can directly go for MCH, which is also pretty, a different track altogether. But many options are being thrown open, and more will also be in the offing.
Thank you so much for taking your time off, sir. But as I go finish this particular series of webinar, I want to say one thing that we've all heard as children. Pal pochina sollu pochu அப்படிம்பாங்க. So if we don't have teeth, a whole lot of things cannot happen. You can't eat well, you can't smile, and nobody will take you seriously because you won't be able to talk. Thank you so much for taking your time, sir. It's been a wonderful session, and I enjoyed listening to everything that you people had to say. There's so much learning happening here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Thank you all.